So the Public Enterprises Department has withdrawn from the SAA Leadership Consultative Forum. It blames the unions and one of the creditors for sabotaging the process. The forum, which includes representatives from SAA unions, is part of the business rescue process. It was formed after complaints that business rescue practitioners weren't meaningfully consulting with SAA employees. For reaction to this, Zazi Nasimbonyani Mugambi from the South African Cabin Crew Association, one of the unions at SAA, talks to us from Gauteng. Very good morning to you. So you've said that the Public Enterprises Department is manipulative and dishonest. What do you mean by that?
Well, Jane, I mean, we're really taken aback that the DPE is now basically withdrawing from the LCF where they themselves have created the situation that we find ourselves in. I mean, we had been working for 6 weeks on a business rescue plan that we expected to sort of somehow be integrated into the business rescue plan through them. And this was not done. So we basically wasted our time for 6 weeks. We're told at the last minute that the DPE has decided on 1,000 workers to be incorporated into the new SAA, and that's what we saw on the plan. So we are very concerned about what the DPE is putting out there, and they need to be honest as to what actually led us into this current situation.
Because they're putting all the blame on you, on the unions, saying that you've been dishonest and have basically scuppered any opportunity.
No, absolutely not, Jane. That's completely untrue. We have worked with the Department of Public Enterprise. I think we gave them the benefit of the doubt and said, let's work collectively, the DPE, the BRPs, and see that if we can come up with something collectively. But instead, what we've seen is a thin plan that lacks detail, that has attracted an adjournment based on the fact that you cannot have such a plan and expect SAA to be turned around in the future. And that's basically what we want. We want a SAA that will not be liquidated and that is viable and not a burden to taxpayers as it has been historically.
I mean, this sort of action is going to put any creditors off, isn't it?
Yes, and that's exactly what our concern was, Jane. I mean, the DPE is sort of pinpointing Airlink as some poster child, whereas 69% of the creditors voted for this adjournment. So obviously they looked at the plan and they had the same concerns that we had. It lacked detail, and also there was no funding attached to it. So I mean, anybody with plain sight can see that this plan is deficient. And the Department of Public Enterprises, for them to even ratify this plan, when a few weeks ago they made it very clear that the BR plan is weak and lacks detail. But today they expect creditors to vote on it.
Okay, so what do you think is going on and what's going to happen next?
I don't know. I think we have been from the beginning. We've been prepared to engage meaningfully to find a common position. And let's just make one thing very clear. We are not opposed to the 1,000 startup number, but we are saying we have various sort of initiatives like the training layoff and furloughing and job sharing in order to mitigate the huge job loss. And the number of 2,900 to about 3,000 could have done that. So we're not being unreasonable. We're just saying, let's sit down, really and honestly look at our solutions and come to the party and we can find each other.
What do you think the department meant when they said that you've also put all severance packages at risk?
No, I don't know, Jane, because what is clear is that even in the letter that we received on the 23rd of June from the DPE, we had to sign a letter at the last minute in order to present to the creditors. And that's not how it works. And in the very same plan, they've made it clear that the packages are only available once the creditors vote yes. So they're not immediately available. We have no formal agreement that we had to look at to present to our members, but we have presented what they have given us to our members. And once we have a formal agreement, we'll get a mandate from our members and put it forward. SACA and NUMSA have never rejected it. We just need a formal agreement to present to our members and mandate.
And all the while empowers your competition.
Yes, exactly. And that's the biggest concern. I mean, the plan basically says SAA will start flying in January of 2020. I mean, that's ludicrous. We'll just absolutely lose the market share. And we cannot rely on Mango. Mango is a low-cost carrier. We have ComAir, who's just coming out of business rescue themselves, that are going to be in the air before us. why can't we get it right? Why can't we compete before we lose the market share? And also, Jane, we need to also make sure, one thing we're very passionate about is that we need a fit-for-purpose board. We need a good executive management, because whatever plan is passed, it has to be implemented, and it needs a strong team that is capable of rebuilding this airline.
Oh, painful for all concerned, Zazie. Good to talk to you. Thank you.